It is time now for the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news for this Thursday, May 7th, 2015. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins, and your 11 o'clock news headlines here. And our top story here at 11 o'clock here on this Thursday night is in London, where one of the closest British elections in recent memory didn't take long to create its own history in early Captain Friday as a 20-year-old Scottish student became the country's lawmaker, which was the youngest since 1667 Aston, one of the opposition Labour Party. Washington, an American drone strike in the southern port city of Yemen last month killed a senior operative of the credit bench in that country who had recently been emerged as a public face of the group, and it was announced on Thursday. In Cape Canaveral, Florida, a Russian spaceship had failed cargo run to the International Space Station has fallen fast and expected it to Earth's atmosphere burn up late on Thursday. The leader of a small group of Edmonton academics who have tutored Omar Khadr since his time in Guantanamo Bay said he is a gifted student with a curious mind that will serve him well if he eventually studies at a tiny Christian university as planned. Washington, the U.S. military began training a small group of Syrian rebels this week at a base in Jordan that started with protesters in the capital, Bujumbura, assaulted people suspected of being members of the governor and party's youth group on Thursday as upheaval over President Pierre Nkurunziza bid for a third term persisted. In Washington, a federal appeals court in New York on Thursday ruled that one secret National Security Agency program that is systematically collecting Americans' phone records in bulk is illegal. In a rare bipartisan in the court, the Senate overwhelmingly approved a compromise bill Thursday that would give Congress power to review any nuclear deal with Iran. In San Diego, the publisher of the Los Angeles Times said Thursday that it would agree to buy UT San Diego for $85 million, deepening its hold in Southern California, putting the top newspapers in the state's two largest cities under common ownership. In Oklahoma City, thunderstorm and flash flood warnings were issued for several Great Plains states on Thursday, a day after a series of tornadoes touched down in Oklahoma, causing one death, injured 12, and flooded the buildings. The Justice Department will investigate whether the Baltimore Police Department engaged in a pattern of unconstitutional police and law enforcement officials said on Thursday, a day after the mayor has asked for an inquiry. First came disclosure of racist and homophobic messages exchanged by officers at the San Francisco Police Department. In New York, the dollars streaming on Thursday after a post-positive U.S. jobless claims report raised hopes for a solid April labor market report. ABC has canceled freshman series Forever and Christelle, but renewed several offers including American Crime, Secrets and Lies, Marvel's Agent Carter, Fresh Off the Boat, Galvin, and Unexpected Blackish. And veteran actor James Garner, best known as Jim Rockford on the Rockford Files, and in Maverick, has died at the age of 86. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has announced that the global carbon dioxide concentrations have reached a new monthly record of 4 parts per million. Enceladus may have a warm ocean beneath its icy surface, but it may also be shooting through that crust in big sheet spots filled with sea monkeys. New research suggests that children who survive a measles infection remain vulnerable to potentially deadly infections for as long as 2 or 3 years after the measles infection. 2 years before, ice cream maker Bluebell Creamery's LP have recalled all of its frozen desserts from grocery stores that had evidence of deadly pathogen in one of its pre-processed pans, according to inspection reports released on Thursday by the Food and Drug Administration. Here, Peter Channel News Time, 11:04 here on this late Thursday night here, and it is time for a travel report here, and and it shows 95 minutes up on side. Slow in the Sharon Foxborough stretch from Route 1 in Sharon all the way out to Mechanic Street in Foxborough here. Route 3 in the step-on side. Also around Braintree, and then you hit brakes again from Route 18 in Weymouth to Derby Street in Hingham here. And we got an accident on 95 northbound in Pawtucket S curves here. Southeast Expressway on the northbound side. Slow for Mass Ave all the way out to downtown Boston and up to the Zakin Bridge on Interstate 93 in Boston here. Route 1A in the southbound side. Slow from East Boston to 93 in Boston here. Route 44 on the westbound side. Also, after you get on 44 west from Route 3 in Plymouth here. And 93 on the southbound side. Also, for Hooks stretch in New Hampshire. And Spalding Turnpike slow on Route 4 in Durham, New Hampshire here. And take a look at the MBTA alerts there. On the subway. Smooth sailing here on the commuter rail. Raymond Whistle Line train 539, 8:35 p.m. from substation delayed. Today due to switch problem 15-25 minutes, and permanent Stoughton Line train 8:27, 9:05 p.m. from substation delayed today due to an early mechanical problem 30 to 40 minutes. Peter Chillen News time, 11:06 here, and it is time now for our weather report here on this late Thursday night here. 61 degrees, that temperature first guys. Humidity today 46%, wind speed southwest about 6 miles per hour, barometer 3.12 inches, open about 40 degrees, and visibility of 10 miles an hour. Alright, current conditions around the region here at the 11th hour here. It is 67 degrees in Boston, 71 in Fitchburg, 70 in Bedford and Beverly, it's 74 in Lawrence, 65 in Worcester, 68 in Sturbridge and Milford, 65 in Wester, 64 in Norwood, 63 in Taunton, 59 in New Bedford, it's 66 in Plymouth, Massachusetts, 55 in Provincetown and Falmouth, and in Martha's Vineyard, 53 in Cape Cod Bay and Chinaman and Nantucket, it's 55 in Balkan, 54 in Wesley, it's 63 in Smithfield, it's 55 in New York City, 54 in Islip, 57 in Montauk, 61 in Bridgeport, 59 in New Haven, it's 63 in Danbury, 61 in Waterbury, it's 62 in Meriden, it's 67 in Hartford, 68 in Winslow, Quebec, it's 67 in Springfield, Massachusetts, 68 in Athol, Massachusetts, 72 in Greenfield, Massachusetts, 56 in North Island, Massachusetts, 62 in Pittsfield, Mass, 68 in Albany, New York, 67 in Silver Springs, it's 71 in Wetton, Vermont, 62 in Bainton, 58 in Bramble, Vermont, it's 54 in Lebanon, New Hampshire, 61 in Keene, Hampshire, 65 in Draper, New Hampshire, 63 in Laconia and Cochrane and Manchester, New Hampshire, 72 in Nashville, New Hampshire, 71 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and 64 degrees up in Portland, Maine. Here. Alright. Take a look at our surface map around the country here, and it shows the station from central Quebec, from central Ontario, all the way up to southern Quebec, up in the northern Maine, then for Canadian Maritimes. Here. And another cold front from eastern California, down Nevada, merged with a cold front from central Nevada, then for Utah, then for Carbon and Northern Mexico, and a warm front from Oklahoma to Nancy, Kansas, merged with a cold front from southeast Nebraska down for western Iowa, up in the Minnesota, up in the southwestern portions of Ontario, with a pair of low pressure right in western Ontario here. And we have front from south central Florida and merging with another front off the Carolina coastline and at the sea here with a low pressure. We have the Georgia coastline here, and we got a front from western portions of Texas, and a front from southern Nevada, named for western Arizona, named for Gulf of California, and a front from northern Utah, named for central Idaho, down for western Montana, down for southeastern portions of Alberta here. And we got low pressure in central Idaho, northwestern portions of Wyoming, south-central portions of New Mexico, western portions of Texas, and western Oklahoma Panhandle, and low pressure south-central Quebec here. While we have high pressure in extreme northern Montana, down for southwestern Saskatchewan, the Falkwater region, and high pressure in southern New England, and a ridge of high pressure down for eastern Alabama, and for the Florida Panhandle here. 68 degrees at temperature right out here in Detroit, 76 in Pittsburgh, 74 in Washington, D.C., 70 in Atlanta, 76 in Miami, Florida. It's 80 in Brownsville, Texas, 77 in Dallas, Texas. It's 68 in Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska, 68 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, 77 degrees out of Chicago, 51 in Great Falls, Montana. It's 69 in Seattle, Washington, 62 in San Francisco, 59 in Los Angeles. It's 72 in Las Vegas, 83 in Phoenix, 73 out in Albuquerque, Mexico, and 58 in Salt Lake City and Denver, Colorado here. Alright, our radar situation in the country here, and it shows which is subtropical storm Anna now, showing line of rain showers off the Carolinas and off the Georgia and up in the northeastern Florida area. And this is a spotty rain showers from western in the eastern portion of Quebec, stretching up in the northwestern New Brunswick, extreme northeastern portion of Maine near Caribou, and some spotty snow and sleet around north central portion of New Brunswick here. And this is what is spawning all these tornadoes in Texas and in Oklahoma. This is a line of heavy showers and thunderstorms from north central Texas, stretching in the west of the Fort Worth, Dallas metroplex, and stretching on the eastern portions of Oklahoma and down for western and north central portions of Arkansas, down for south central portions of Missouri here, and a line of rain showers and storms from eastern portions of Kansas and stretching on the northwestern Missouri around Kansas City, and a line of rain showers from east central portions of Missouri north of St. Louis, and stretching up I-55 through Springfield here, and west of Chicago here. And a line of rain showers from the northeastern portions of Iowa, stretching down for western portions of Wisconsin. A line of rain showers and storms from central Minnesota around Minneapolis, and stretching in the northeastern portions of Minnesota and up the western portions of Ontario here. And a line of spotty rain showers from southwestern North Dakota down for South Dakota, and spotty rain showers in eastern portions of Montana. Some spotty rain showers in the north central portions of Montana. Some spotty snow and sleet showers in the north central portions of Colorado down for the south central portions of Wyoming, and then northwestern portions of Colorado here, and some spotty rain showers around east central portions of Arizona around Phoenix, and a line of rain showers from the northwestern portions of Arizona stretching in western Utah down for eastern portions of Idaho, and some rain, sleet, and snow showers in central portions of Idaho, some snow and sleet showers in west central portions of Wyoming around the Yellowstone Valley here. Rain showers in the south central portions in rain showers in the north central portions of California, south of San Francisco, while some snow showers down the Sierras here, and some spotty rain showers in central portions of California here, and spotty rain showers north and west of Los Angeles, and spotty rain showers between Los Angeles and north of San Diego here. Snow showers in southwestern portions of Alberta, north and southeastern portions of British Columbia, and some rain showers in central portions of Alberta near Calgary, and rain showers west of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada here. And some rain showers in southern portions of Alaska here. Alright, satellite look here, and it shows a line of clouds from the Virginias stretching in for western Carolinas and Memphis, central portions of Georgia and of the northeastern portion of Florida, and a line of clouds off the Carolinas and stretching out to sea. And another line of clouds from the Maritime stretch up in the extreme northern Maine and up in Quebec and up in Ontario, and a line of clouds from western Ontario stretching in for western Great Lakes and down for the Plain States and the northeastern portion of Texas here. A line of clouds from central portions of California stretching Nevada, covered in western Utah, southern Oregon, southern Idaho, western portions of Wyoming, and southwestern portions of Montana here. And a line of clouds coming to Metro Dakotas, and a line of clouds from southern Saskatchewan, and a line of clouds from British Columbia stretching in central and northern portions of Alberta here. Alright. The latest on Anna, which is now a subtropical storm here. As its maximum sustained winds about 45 miles per hour, minimum central pressure 1,004 millibars, and located at 31.5 to the north, 77.6 to the west, and movement north for about 2 miles per hour as 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time as observations from an airport. As I expect the storm to get to northeast South Carolina by about Sunday, and then move up the Atlantic from Sunday to Tuesday as a post-tropical depression with a lot of rain here for the eastern seaboard. Okay, let's take a look at forecast discussion around the region here. Dry weather with unseasonably warm afternoons will continue throughout this weekend, but a backdoor cold front will bring a brief period of cool temperatures on Friday along the eastern Massachusetts coast, except some wet weather for the early week period as a cold front sweeps the region of which 90 invest lifts north, dry, more seasonable weather falls prior to the possible late week into the following weekend storm system here. And near-term forecast upper level ridge of high pressure will result in mainly clear skies and light winds overnight as given dry air mass in place. Temperatures will drop down into the middle of the upper 40s across a normally close outlying locations during daybreak. Meanwhile, the ever heat island of Boston should only see lows fall in the upper 50s here. While we'll have to watch if any fog across the island will affect north into the Connecticut River Valley toward daybreak. Right now, we think it mainly stays south of the region to give it low-level dry air in place, but we'll continue to monitor. Now, we're going to take a look at the weather notes here. A clear, cool night on tap is going to lead to a sunny start in the morning here. And we're expecting tomorrow's highs around the region to be in the 50s up in Maine, which is 55 for Portland, Maine, 71 for Concord, 82 for Rutland, Vermont, 86 for Albany, New York, 82 in New York City, 86 for Hartford, 69 for Boston, and 84 Worcester. So, expect temperatures to be cooler from the Rhode Coast, straight to the name for the south coast of Massachusetts, Cape Downs, and up the south shore, and up in Boston, up in the north shore, and up to the New Hampshire, and up in the Maine here. While we can see temperatures in the 70s to around 80 degrees for much of interior New England here. Okay, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. It goes like this. For tonight, we are going to see some most of the coast got low about 47 degrees, light south wind. For Friday, south got about 78 degrees and cloud will become at Stafford at 5 miles by the afternoon. Friday night, a chance of drizzle after 11 p.m. Petrobag after 5 p.m. watts. Most of the coast got low about 50 degrees, light east wind. For Saturday, a chance of drizzle before 9 a.m. Petrobag before 8 a.m. watts. Punch south got about 73 degrees and cloud will become at Stafford at 5 to 8 miles by the morning. Saturday, Petrobag after 1 a.m. watts. Most of the coast got low about 57 degrees and south about 6 miles an hour. For Sunday, Petrobag before 9 a.m. watts. Most of the south got about 80 degrees. Saturday, Petrobag after 3 a.m. watts. Punch south got low about 62 degrees. Monday, Petrobag before 7 a.m. watts. Punch south got about 81 degrees. Monday night, at chance of showers. Petrobag between 11 p.m. and midnight. Then Petrobag after 5 a.m. watts. Most of the skies with a low around 61 degrees and chance of precipitation 30%. Tuesday, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Petrobag before 7 a.m. watts. Most of the skies have about 70 degrees and chance of precipitation 30%. Tuesday, at chance of showers. Most of the skies low about 56 degrees and chance of precipitation 30%. Wednesday, most sunny of the podcast skies about 71 low about 46 degrees. And for Thursday, most sunny skies have about 65 degrees. Here, pairs with a phrase of the night. A sunny Friday on tap. Pair channel news times now 11:18 here on this late Thursday night 10 out for Sportsman up here. And taking a look at the Major League Baseball scores here so far tonight. Miami Marlins leading up San Francisco Giants 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Los Angeles Angels lead the Houston Astros 1-0 in the top of the fourth. Arizona Diamondbacks lead the San Diego Padres 6-0 here. Minnesota Twins edge at the Oakland Athletics 6-5. Los Angeles Dodgers pan the Milwaukee Brewers 14-4. St. Louis Cardinals over the Chicago Cubs 5-1. Detroit Tigers over the Chicago White Sox 4-1. Kansas City Royals over the Cleveland Indians 7-4. New York Yankees over the Baltimore Orioles 4-3. And Pittsburgh Pirates over the Cincinnati Reds 7-2. And Texas Rangers over the Tampa Bay Rays 5-4. Alright, take a look at NHL Stanley Cup playoff scoreboard here on this late Thursday night here. With 1:09 left in the second period, Chicago Blackhawks leading the Minnesota Wild 2-1 up in St. Paul as the Chicago Blackhawks are looking for a sweep of the Minnesota Wild here. And the Montreal Canadiens have stayed off the elimination of St. Pete as they defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2. Take a look at some sports news here on this late Thursday night here. Tom Brady's agent is right, as Deflategate is a terrible disappointment there. In New York, Alex Rodriguez passed Will Mays for the fourth in the career home run list, connected for number 661 Thursday and helping the New York Yankees beat the Baltimore Orioles 4-3. For anyone who watched Gilbert Arenas collapse on the floor after Gerald Walsh drove into his lefty, Kwame Brown fumbled post entry pass out of bounds, Michael Jordan hobbled around for two forgivable seasons they've been refused to acknowledge as Washington Wizards' high hopes for postseason crashed down with John Wall's injury. In Houston, it was only in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal series of Los Angeles Clippers, but it was impossible for the Houston Rockets to avoid the sense that the situation was getting dire for them on Wednesday night. In Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, Rory McIlroy outplayed Jordan Spieth in a duel between the world's top two ranked players, but another young gun was part of the quartet who stole the show with the first round lead in the Players' Championship on Thursday as Hideki Matsuyama shares lead after the first round at Players. Louisiana Tech coach Michael White is leaving Louisiana Tech to become the next coach at Florida to replace Billy Donovan. The Chicago Bulls' Jimmy Butler selected as NBA's most improved player. Kyle Busch will miss his 11th Sprint Cup Series event of the season Saturday night at Kansas Speedway, and his return date is still uncertain. Arlington, Virginia, when the Washington Capitals selected Russian winger Alex Ovechkin as the #1 draft overall pick in 2004 draft, it was a consolation prize for having played miserable hockey. Anaheim, California. Not long after he showed up at the Angel Stadium for his Major League debut on Thursday evening, outfielder Preston Tucker Houston Astros was greeted by designated hitter Evan Gattis. Setting that plate with his chance to make baseball history, Bryce Harper instant focus was on driving into the runner from third base as he hits home runs in his first 3 at-bats for the Nationals. In Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, with his feet positioned near wooden planks and his ball rested in the fringe of the treacherous Island Green, Tiger Woods tied his side between Mellon and his head wedge toward his partner. The Miami Dolphins have signed wide receiver Devontae Parker, defensive tackle Jordan Phillips, offensive lineman Jamil Douglas, and cornerback Bobby McCain, running back Jay Elliott, and safety Cedric Thompson. For all of Eric Golson's managing turnovers and beef on inconsistency, he would be an upgrade to all the quarterbacks of dozens of FBS teams. And that's going to be it for Sports Roundup here on this late Thursday night, May 7th, 2015 on the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news on this Thursday night. Peter say have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night. What a good day to you.